Alright, what's good? Welcome back to the channel once again. Welcome back. Smash the like, hit the notification bell so that you can know when I post a new video. Today, a lot has happened in the world of football, but most noticeably, Arsenal and PSG are the two Champions League finalists. Big deal for the Arsenal fans. Returning guess you can say for the PSG fans. It's a big deal. Big deal. I mean, most people already write Arsenal off. Most people already said they don't stand a chance. Most people already literally overlook the game. Me compared to the last year's finals, and the finals not even hung yet. So how comes me I compare it, right? Now, because we're talking about PSG, right? I was looking at the run earlier to the finals. Arsenal perfect in the group stage, win 8 out of them 8 games, defeat teams like Bayern in that group stage. I think they defeat PSG as well in the group stage, while and finish top of the league phase, first out of what, 24? I don't remember. But the top 8 teams qualified and Arsenal finish first, not losing a game, winning all their games. Their record was 8-0. It's like, that is very commendable. Only conceding 4 goals in 8 games, right? Very good. Versus PSG, who didn't even qualify automatically for the knockout stages. They had to play a playoff game against AS Monaco. And even in that game, it was like a goal for goal to decide if PSG actually should go through. I mean, yeah, PSG, yeah. How much goal them conceded in the entire league phase? During the entire league phase, PSG conceded 11 goals. Right? 11 goals PSG conceded during the entire league phase. Then conceded 11 goals. Let me pull it up on my laptop. Yeah, them conceded 11 goals in the entire league phase. While Arsenal, as I said, only conceded 4 goals. So now that's a big deal, that's a big difference. That's like one team very good in defense while one team gives a little bit of freedom for the team attacking them. It's not that resolute or tight, one would say. But as for Arsenal though, Arsenal scored the most goal also in the entire league phase. So it's not like you're saying, oh, Arsenal just defended the entire league phase. And during the league phase, it's not like you can say they only got mediocre teams to play, because the league phase consisted of all the teams, right? Am I right or am I wrong? I feel like saying like this. Yeah. Let me just do one quick survey. Quick research. Arsenal versus Real Madrid. UCL League phase this year. Have they played? They competed as separate entities and newly formatted. Okay. So they never play. I'm sure I have the Arsenal. Okay, so see the 8 games here were Arsenal playing in the league phase. 8 games in the league phase, Arsenal. Them win Athletic Club, them beat Olympiacos, them trash Atletico Madrid 4-0. Slavia Praha, they beat them 3-0. They beat Bayern Munich 3-1. They beat Club Brugge 3-0. And Inter Milan, they beat Inter Milan 3-1. And then the final group league phase game, Kerat, they beat them 3-2. Right? So overall, Arsenal never really beat any. I mean, I see Atletico Madrid in there, I see Bayern in there, fine. But it's not like they went through PSG, it's not like they went through PSG, they went through Real. It's not like they went through. Only one team here so you can actually say is top tier, and is Bayern. Inter Milan is like Arsenal, Atletico Madrid is like Arsenal. In regards to, we're not trying to dismiss that they're not a good team in general, but in essence, come on, we're not talking about PSG run. The point I'm trying to make is their league phase run was undeniable. They won 8 games. But when you look through the 8 games that they won, they actually didn't overcome any real adversity. Maybe only Bayern, right? In comparison to PSG, league phase game, it's probably similar. In a sense, I think PSG were just bad in the league phase. Alright, so then we get Atalanta, the one against Barcelona, 2-1. They beat Leverkusen 7-2, I think. They lost to Bayern. They played Spurs. They won that game. Then played Athletic Club. They played Sporting. And they played Newcastle. Right? So, I'm not going to be unfair. I think you can say that both teams played good teams and both teams play average team. Because in this team, only one team here, some actually think should be beating PSG, and that is Barcelona. Bayern, I would expect PSG to win. Leverkusen, I would expect PSG to win. Spurs, definitely, which they won. You would have expected them to win those games. But, that aside, both teams went through to the league phase. PSG had to do it through the playoffs. They played Monaco in the playoff and won the game. Was it 5-4 in aggregate? Yeah, 5-4 in aggregate. Outscored Monaco to win the game 5-4 in aggregate. Right? No, that aside, now they were officially in the knockout stage, the round of 16, and their first game. Now, here is where it's more of a fair criticism to say that, Arsenal didn't have a strong fight to the final, right? They had an easy run. Here, now, this more applicable to this scenario. Because whereas Arsenal run through to the final, started in the quarter-finals, no, the round of 16. Who then play again? The round of 16, that says Leverkusen. So them actually play Leverkusen in the round of 16, winning that game 3-1. Now it's Leverkusen. They expected them to beat Leverkusen. I think they drew at home against Leverkusen and then away and then win the home game. Yeah, they win the home game 2-0. Arsenal having drew the first game. Having drew the first game 1-1, I think they went back to England and win the second game 2-0. So they got through 3-2 Panagir. So that was their first actual knockout stage game, right? Them cruise through that. Them second game now, them play Sporting again. It's like it don't get much easier. You get Sporting. It's like if you were gonna gamble and guess, you would want to beat Sporting. Now, obviously, Sporting qualified in the top 8 league teams. That's why you can't use the league run as anything. Never. It's like you have to wait until the business end of the season to really cast a judgment. Because Sporting finished 7th in the league phase. Liverpool finished 3rd. Tottenham finished 4th. Tottenham was struggling for a relegation battle in the Premier League phase earlier in the season. Don't really say nothing. So hence, we now dilute the 8 games won from Arsenal. 8 games played, 8 games won. I'm not diluting it. But I'm just showing you, like, Liverpool played 8 games, they won 6. Spurs played 8, they won 5, drew 2, lost 1. Right? While you have Real Madrid who played 8 games, win 5, but then lose 3. You have PSG only winning 4, losing 2, drawing 2. You have Atletico Madrid who finished 14th, who ended up in the semi-final. So you can't really use the league phase as the real thing. So now, as we said, the knockout round is where may be critical. And as they face Sporting, and they beat Sporting 1-0 on aggregate, 1-0 on aggregate. I think them scored that 1 goal at home. No, the one away in Sporting 1-0, and then they drew the game at home. Sporting with any little firepower, score a goal throughout them 2 legs there. But yeah, after that now they went through, they played Atletico Madrid who overcame Barcelona. Right, imagine overcoming Barcelona. Yes, you would think you're one of the favourites, but it's just all about, it's always about face-off for me, like matchups. And the Barca Atletico Madrid matchup is a matchup where they're very familiar with each other. Basically, they both know how to overcome each other, and especially Atletico Madrid knows how to play Barcelona and play them for years, right? And they won. Barcelona lost the game, and I get 3-2. Now them get some red card. I recall got sent off. Was it in both games? But essentially, yeah, they make it a bit easier for Arsenal not challenging them or for Atletico Madrid in that game. But overall, brilliance from what's his name, Alvarez did that free kick. You know, time the substitution. I think Sorloth came on that game and scored late. Them just had the advantage, and now they went through to play Arsenal. So this was Arsenal's 3rd game in the knockout round, and over the 2 leg they won the game 2-1 on aggregate, right? Winning the first leg, what was that? 1-1. They took the first leg ended 1-1. The second leg ended in a 1-0 victory for Arsenal. Again, 1-0 to the Arsenal, right? And they went through. Now, you can't say they never deserve to go through. They 100% deserve to go through. You play who is in front of you, and you have to beat who is in front of you, and then you progress to the next phase. Right? It's no one way or other way around it. That's just what it is. Right? You see it all the time. Now, hopefully them go in the final and get smashed because they deserve to be smashed. Right? So that was a very smooth run for Arsenal. If you were asking for a knockout run to the final, you would ask for that run in comparison to PSG, who after playing an extra knockout game, which is the playoff, right? Them scrape that through 5-4. And it's like since then, them click to a next gear. Round of 16, they played Chelsea. Then they played Liverpool in the quarters. Then they played Bayern. I think one of those 3 teams, the worst of 2 English teams, that's what I'm saying is like matchup. That would be like Barca, Atletico Madrid in the quarters. Was it Arsenal playing any of those teams at this stage in the league? It's like 50-50. Anybody can win. Even though you know Arsenal is better than them throughout the entire season because they are top of the league, they have more of a synergy, they know what they're doing. If they had played in this stage of the Champions League, it would have been a 50-50, far out the window, and it's just how you stay on the day, essentially. What is the tactics you are implementing? And as we say, it would have been a lot more interesting. But PSG smashed Chelsea 8-2 on aggregate. 8-2 on aggregate. That was like a rush them off. They win one leg 3-0. And I guess the difference at the first leg. But the second leg at Stamford Bridge, them smashed Chelsea 3-0. And I guess that means they scored 5 goals in Paris, while Chelsea scored 2. So the first leg ended 5-2 in Paris. Wow. Right? And then them going at the quarters now, and they play Liverpool, who rushed past Galatasaray easily. They played Liverpool and won that aggregate 4-0. You can't say very deserved. Obviously, 2-0 on each leg. That's convincing, right? That's convincing. It was comfortable, that game, those 2 games, if I recall properly. Yeah. And then now they played Bayern, who, like, come on. Bayern is having this one of the seasons of their life, like literally. Their top 3 players, left wing, right wing, and their strikers scoring, assisting, like their stats is, I think, if you're going to say front 3, it's definitely Bayern with the best front 3. No, they're not in the category of Ribery, Robin, Lewandowski, or Messi, Neymar, Suarez, Tevez, Ronaldo, Rooney. They're definitely in that tier there, but PSG had them to face, and everybody thought that yes, Bayern might beat PSG. I never think that. Definitely after watching the first leg, no, don't forget Bayern went through against Real Madrid 6-4 on aggregate, and that took some overcoming to beat Real Madrid. No matter what form Real Madrid is on, it took some overcoming to beat Real Madrid. But that's exactly what Bayern did. 4-3 at home in the second leg, 2-6-4. Right, so that means that the first leg ended, what, 2, whatever that ended. That match is, but then win the aggregate 6-4. Now you're playing, no confidence up because then beat Real Madrid team or beat City. Right? So now you beat the Real Madrid team convincingly, so now you're playing PSG, you're like, yes, confidence up, they can beat anything. But after the first leg, it was clear to me, even though Bayern came back, PSG allowed them back into the game. Late into the game, after going up, in the first leg, it was 5-2 in the first leg. You're up 5-2 in the first leg, and with like 15 minutes left to go, you just gave up on the game. You just literally lose concentration, and Bayern scored back 2 more goals. The tie ended 5-4, right? Yeah, tie ended 5-4. And then now, you go to Munich second leg. It was never going to be the same shootout. That game ended 1-1. Yeah. So, again, another big game. If you look at Bayern again, so I think PSG deserve to go through. Now they're up against Arsenal. So this is about defense versus attack. Defense versus attack. Essentially, last year's Champions League finals all over again. That is exactly what it is. Last year's Champions League finals all over again. Now remember in the Champions League finals last year, PSG just the Inter Milan 5-0 it was. I think 5-0 it was just an embarrassment. And then that Inter actually put up a big fight in the semi-final against Barcelona, I think. Defeated them in a very close encounter last year. And played PSG, but then PSG just won through them. They were just too good. This year, they even proved to be better than last year. Literally. It's not like Vitinha is playing at the level he was last year. Even Dembele. I just think overall as a team, this is just about fight and grit. In addition to the power they have from last year. Because last year they definitely was a lot better in the group stage. This year they were just fighting. It's like, they just know they go through. And when it came down to the fights, they won. So it's a no-brainer for me. We are talking about a team that scored 21 league goals, group league phase goals. PSG versus Arsenal was scored 23 league phase goals. You are talking about in the knockout stages, Arsenal scoring only 6 goals, while PSG scored that's 23 minus you can say minus the which game was that? The Monaco game when they scored 5. You can say minus 5, that's at 18. So in the knockout stages, one team scoring 18 goals, one team scoring 6, and the run was like chalk and cheese. It's like, come on. I would be dumb not to bet on PSG. Yeah, so that is it for the Champions League final. Couple weeks away. Is it next week? Or the week after? No, the week after, obviously the week after, yeah, not next week. The week after next week. No, not this weekend, not next weekend, the week after that. The end of May is the Champions League final. So, big game, and everybody, I look forward to it. No, if that wasn't enough pressure for Arsenal, they are still leading the Premier League table. If they win any one of these two things, I would say kudos to Arsenal. Them deserve it. No, they would have deserved it. I mean, that will be pressure in the Champions League. Withstanding it so far, you're down to the last game, 90 minutes or 120, depending. No home crowd in the middle of nowhere. Camped. Apparently, it is supposed to be 22 of the best players in the world. We know it is not. Right? Arsenal have a lot to do. Them have a lot to do. It's not going to be easy at all. Right? None at all is not going to be easy. But if that wasn't enough pressure, now them have the Premier League to challenge for. Leading it by 5 points. City have one game in hand coming up Wednesday. City have a game in hand. So it's currently Arsenal leading by 5 points. If City win their game in hand on Wednesday, it goes down to 2 points. Right? We've been here already and City joke around, so you can't even really count the points that are not on the board. But mathematically you can, but the game no play mathematically, it have to play upon the pitch. So Wednesday, City better go get that 3 points, cut the gap to 2. Then it's still in Arsenal's hand. The 2 games them have, I think, is Burnley and Brighton. They're still supposed to win those 2 games. City have Bournemouth and is it Newcastle? I don't remember exactly who City have. I think they have, let me check these fixtures. I think it's obviously winnable games that game City must win. Bournemouth, and then on the final day, them have Aston Villa. Wow. Which Aston Villa already qualified, while Arsenal have home to Burnley, and then final day they play away to Crystal Palace. Now, let us just say both games draw. Let us just say both games either draw or both teams win in the next fixtures. So City win them game and then Saturday, even though City don't play Saturday, then play. So me just say, let's say City play them game and win, then in the second round of 37, City actually win and Arsenal actually win, or both teams draw, which means that they're going to the final year with 2 points Arsenal lead, which is crazy because if on that final, Arsenal will draw away to Crystal Palace and City win, that is City's lead, right? And let's say Arsenal, it can't go anywhere. It's like it's literally probably will come down to the final day. I don't think it has done that. The Premier League that happened in the last how long, but it could be very, very interesting what transpires. And with their feet right through like night drew, as we say, City been here before. Again, it's never a hate on Arsenal, it's just reality. It's a hate on the delusional state of mind from the Arsenal fans, but it's not a hate on Arsenal, it's just reality. Why am I going to bet on Arsenal to win the league? They've done this over and over. And then the last game City played, it was pressure. And they weren't even dominating the game for a large spell of it. That was this weekend's game, I mean 3-0. If we recall properly, them scored them first goal. Doku scored the first goal in the 68th minute, 1 hour. And then Alan scored in the 75th minute. Brentford was making it very hard for them. But them just something about them is like that little championship attitude. While for Arsenal, it's more like the same thing they've been doing last season. They're not doing anything this season what we never see them do last season. City just fluctuate. Normally at this time, what happened against Everton would have happened. City almost lost the game. That would not have happened in previous seasons. No, it happened this season for some reason or another. So more than a shock if City goes out tomorrow, then game in hand. And only cut the gap to 4 points. Now that I'm foolishness with 2 games to go, why are they? Depending on Arsenal to win, to lose both games. Yeah. So what I say this over and over and over. City just know how to get it done. I've been seeing this for years, over a decade, practically. Since City came to prominence, you could say. Yeah, them are doing them thing. And we expect them to win the Premier League. Again, why would I bet in favor of Arsenal? Why would I do that? Right? Yeah, but it is what it is. It is what it is. Goal difference is also a thing. So City need to score tomorrow and game in and they need to smash that team. Because listen to me now, man. We're not going to hear the end of it if Arsenal win. We're going to hear that soccer is the best left winger in the world. Forget about Yamal, forget about Olise. We're going to hear about it. Believe me. Right? So yeah, before I wrap up my side, obviously, glory, Manchester United comfortably qualified for the Champions League, sitting in what? Third place. That's where we're going to end. Sitting in third place. I think what the standings are, we can't, even if we lose the next 2 games, impossible. 5, 6 points, Liverpool 6 points behind us. No, Liverpool, yeah, them 6 points behind us. So even if we lose the next 2 games, we have to actually win more by 3 more or more goals in total. And we lose both games, depending on our goal difference as well. It's almost unlikely. We're comfortable. We're just chilling. We're cruising. Michael Carrick deserves the job. He deserves the job. It would be dumb not to give him at least a 1-year contract or a 2-year contract with strict stipulation. Give him a 2-year contract at least and see what he can do. If he's not doing good enough 1 year, 12 months, 18 months into it, they get rid of him. That's a footballer. But right now, I don't see nobody who are outstanding who should get it over him. So I would say give Carrick the job. Right? People, smash the like. Comment in the comment section. Hit the notification bell. Subscribe to the social, the TikTok, everything in the description. Linked to the channel. Subscribe to all of them. You know the code. We shall be here again maybe tomorrow, maybe the day after. Just do the right thing.